following contest is an extreme rules match. Making his way to the ring, from Cameron, North Carolina, Jeff Hardy. And approaching the ring, from El Paso, Texas, Mexican World. And from Long Beach, California, Freaky K-E-N.
Three members of the Total Nonstop Action Wrestling roster here tonight in this triple threat Extreme Rules match for the opening match of TNA Hardcore Justice. TNA, the acronym for Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, the flagship brand for this, in fact, for this pay-per-view. We have Jeff Hardy, Kazarian, and Chavo Guerrero representing the TNA roster here tonight. All three members, one half of a respective tag team in the tag team division. As we see some tag team moves coming in from Chavo and Jeff Hardy working against Kazarian. Kazarian is the only TNA original in this trio. Jeff Hardy, a veteran of WWF and WWE. Chavo Guerrero, veteran of WCW and WWE as well. Now Chavo and Hernandez, the tag team he is representing here tonight, lost their initial match in the tag team tournament to the Sleaze Blueprint, the team of Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan. We have Kazarian, part of the newer tag team that were not in the tag team tournament. He tags with Christopher Daniels, and they lost their initial match to AJ Styles and James Storm. As we see a series of counters going on between Chavo Guerrero and Kazarian. Kazarian now focusing on Jeff Hardy as he gets a few counters of his own there, but Jeff Hardy actually able to get a move off here, trying to injure the leg of Kazarian. Now Jeff Hardy, part of the iconic Hardy Boys, they lost their initial match to the New Age Outlaws in the TNA Tag Team Tournament. He eventually went on to win the tag team tournament and become the tag team champions. That is the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg, Jesse James, and Billy Gunn. As you see a reverse Hurricane Rana from Jeff Hardy slamming the head of Kazarian into that concrete mat. As we see the two more veteran grabbing weapons from the crowd. Jeff Hardy waiting to see what a weapon Kazarian grabs from underneath the ring. Kazarian able to run away, but gets a guitar to the back of the head now as now Jeff Hardy has got Kazarian right in the middle of this ring. Is going to go for a submission maneuver. Not a move you want to do in a triple threat match, especially in a hardcore triple threat match, as now he gets a mop to the back from Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero's tag partner, Hernandez, actually the person to eliminate Jeff Hardy from the Royal Rumble at the initial TNA show. As we see Chavo Guerrero roll out, as now Jeff Hardy wails on Kazarian. Kazarian got a very lucky draw in the Royal Rumble in the initial TNA show as he gets a whack to the head from that mop, and Chavo coming from behind with that steel chair to the head of Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy countering that pickup with a kick to the face. Kazarian entered in at number 19, but was not able to make it all the way to the end as he was eliminated by Kurt Angle, the eventual winner of that Royal Rumble, and our tag heavyweight champion, as we see a double Russian leg sweep from Chavo Guerrero and Jeff Hardy. Once again, the two veterans tagging up against the new boy, the TNA original, Kazarian. To see a Hurricane Rana, or Tilt-A-Whirl backbreaker rather, from Chavo Guerrero. So you see Kazarian stalk around this ring. Chavo Guerrero was eliminated quite early on in the Royal Rumble by Sting, one of the veterans of WCW, which he also presides from. As we see Jeff Hardy going for a neckbreaker, for actually more like an elbow to the chest to Chavo Guerrero, and switching his attention to Kazarian as he realized Kazarian had been standing around for a bit too much. There are weapons strewn about the ring, but it has become more strikes and punches between these three lightweights in this match. Now, all three of these men fighting each other, trying to get a good match going here. As you see another slam by Jeff Hardy to Kazarian. And we see a nice crossbody to Kazarian from the top rope from Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, one of the biggest high flyers of our age, would often fly off ladders very, very high into the middle of the ring. Speaking of ladders, we have two 6-man ladder matches. I'm not sure if Kazarian got that water off. He tries again, but misses. Misses once again. Kazarian's got to react a bit faster. We have two 6-man ladder matches. One for a number one contender's spot of their choice. Or one number one contender's match of their choice, rather. And one for the hardcore title. Now for the 6 men in the hardcore title ladder match, they had to qualify in singles hardcore matches. And we see Jeff Hardy now being tag team with Kazarian and Chavo as Jeff rolls Kazarian into the middle of that ring. Near that table, we got a leg drop from him onto the apron. Jeff Hardy now running around the ring here, going to look for a better angle of attack. Now the representative for TNA in the hardcore match will be Samoa Joe, the Samoan submission machine. He will be the TNA representative in the 6-man ladder match for the hardcore championship as he rolls Kazarian into the middle of that ring once again. Samoa Joe had to beat out Matt Morgan in order to get his spot in the Extreme Rules hardcore title match later tonight. Jeff Hardy pulling that chair out from the corner and calling both Chavo Guerrero and Kazarian to come at him. He steals that crutch away as Kazarian and Chavo try and attack Jeff Hardy, but Jeff Hardy able to dodge out of the way and try and hurt the leg of Kazarian once again. Kazarian has been holding his gut, perhaps from that big crossbody splash from Jeff Hardy earlier, as you see Chavo countering that grab and doing a nice flip kick to Jeff Hardy right in the center of this ring. Jeff Hardy getting attacked now by both Kazarian and Chavo, but Jeff Hardy with a nice move there, almost a power bomb, but releasing Kazarian to go the opposite direction. A move he can only really do to the lightweights like Kazarian. As you see Chavo with a big suplex. Not going to go for the three amigos there. as he gets a Boston Crab onto Jeff Hardy. Kazarian rolls to the outside now and takes off this top of our announce table. Jeff Hardy countering that Boston Crab. Kazarian had a large amount of support in Jeff Hardy to not tap out there. As we see Chavo now countering out of that one-legged Boston Crab. And now grabbing this chair and wailing on Jeff Hardy right in the middle of this ring. And now grabbing Jeff Hardy for one suplex. Going to spin his hips, get him up for another one. Here, another one. Slamming into that steel chair for the second suplex. Going across the ring once more. The three amigos by Chavo Guerrero now going for a pin. One. Kazarian just watching by. Probably would have interrupted that 2 count. As we get a power bomb. Countered by Jeff Hardy. I believe slamming Chavo into that steel chair. Weapons strewn about the ring. Making this a very dangerous matchup for these high-flying wrestlers here. As they do very large moves and slam themselves against the mat. Where they suddenly realize there's a steel chair or a wooden table on that mat. As we see a series of counters here between Chavo Guerrero and Jeff Hardy. The two trying to focus on each other right now. As we get an elbow to the chest for Chavo Guerrero. And now a neck breaker from Jeff Hardy. And a stomp to the gut. All the focus on Chavo Guerrero right now. Kazarian trying to get the wind back in him. Standing to the side, but now grabbing on to Jeff Hardy. As he whips Jeff Hardy across the ring into the corner here. Sets up the top rope for a series of punches to the painted face of Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy able to counter and send him flying right into that steel chair, right into the center of the ring. They got a series of kicks from Kazarian. Countered into a grab by Kazarian. Kazarian now dropped whole hold right into that sledgehammer. So, such a devastating item to be sent into. Now a suplex into that crutch. One. Jeff Hardy kicking out of that suplex with the bridge. Reverse neckbreaker by Kazarian. A lot of damage going on to Jeff Hardy now. He's been falling onto those weapons in the middle of the ring as he gets into the corner now. Jeff Hardy countering that shot by Chavo Guerrero, but getting grabbed by Kazarian as he whips Jeff Hardy outside of the ring. Now, will Kazarian try to perhaps put Jeff Hardy through this table that he's already prepared? But Chavo coming for the top rope and drop kicking, separating those two as they walk separate ways now. Kazarian perhaps stalking Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero grabbing those steel steps. Jeff Hardy's got a title belt though. Jeff Hardy deciding to instead grab those steel steps away from Chavo Guerrero. And smashing him in the face with those unforgiving steel steps. As he smashes the steel steps against the prone Chavo Guerrero. He is down on the ground. Chavo now able to grab that steel steps away from Jeff Hardy and smash him in the face with those steel steps now. Kazarian able to lay low in this fight as Chavo goes for a pin on the outside. Jeff Hardy able to kick out of that, but gets whipped into the steel post here. And once again, as I believe the blood has started spilling from Jeff Hardy's face. Yes, it has. Chavo playing up to the crowd. Kazarian jumping back into the ring. Everyone trying to grab at Jeff Hardy right now. They see the blood. They smell the blood. They want to go in for the kill. They want to finish this match up. But they're going to have to incapacitate the other member of this match. In a triple threat match, you can't just down one man and then finish the match. The third guy's always going to be there to stop your pin or your submission maneuver. As you see Kazarian put Jeff Hardy on the top rope, smash the back, and goes for a reverse superplex, slamming the back of the neck and the head of Jeff Hardy that has been injured many times before, as he whips Jeff Hardy out to the outside and tries to kick Jeff Hardy out to the outside. Chavo actually spearing Jeff Hardy to the outside. And Jeff Hardy still getting absolutely beaten on. Kazarian trying to grab Jeff Hardy, put him into that table, but Jeff Hardy wisely running away from that, running to the middle of the ring. Going to go out now to Chavo Guerrero and gets a guitar to the back of the head for his efforts. Counters that strike. Dodges out of the way of that title belt as Kazarian whacks that title belt against the face of both Jeff Hardy and Chavo Guerrero now. Grabbing the head of Chavo Guerrero Kazarian and Chavo countering back and forth. Kazarian gets whipped into the barricade, and Chavo slides into the middle of this ring. Chavo does not need a pin in the middle of the ring. This is a falls count anywhere match, as well as an Extreme Rules match. It's Chavo now punching at Jeff Hardy. All three combatants trying to grab at their opponents now. Kazarian a bit too anxious, not letting Chavo finish the damage he was going to do to Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy now in a bad spot down in that corner. Kazarian picking him up to whip him back onto the outside once again. Kicking Jeff Hardy and now tossing him back into the middle of this ring. Chavo immediately slamming the head of Jeff Hardy into that mat and going for a quick pin here. One, Jeff Hardy has the resiliency to still kick out from that. So much damage. It's been a handicap match for so long now. Getting whipped back into the middle of that ring. Kazarian wanting to finish this match perhaps. Now tag team maneuver countered by Jeff Hardy. A meeting of the minds between Chavo Guerrero and Kazarian. As we see Kazarian now grab at Jeff Hardy and go for a big suplex, slamming Jeff Hardy right into that table and going for a pin. Jeff Hardy's still able to kick out. Only a 1 count from Jeff Hardy after slamming right into the ridge of that table from that giant suplex from Kazarian. Kazarian now grabbing Jeff Hardy, whipping him into that corner. Going to turn him around, slamming a big axe handle right into the back of Jeff Hardy and putting him up perhaps for another reverse suplex from the top rope. Slamming the back of his head right in that steel chair. He could absolutely be knocked out right now if he were any normal man. But he is the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy as he slammed his own back against the steel chair. Not afraid of hurting his own body. As you see Chavo going for a big move. But Kazarian able to counter, sending the back of Jeff Hardy into that steel chair. Going for the twist of fate now. Into that steel chair. Kazarian might be done for now. But Chavo picking him up. And Chavo now with a nice move, slamming Kazarian right into the mat. Only 1 count by Kazarian after the twist of fate into that steel chair. Still able to kick out. Able to recover through the onslaught of Chavo Guerrero. As he puts Chavo Guerrero now on the top rope. Perhaps Chavo able to counter. And a huge atomic drop by Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy now calling for Kazarian to get up. Wanted to go for another twist of fate onto Kazarian. Slam his fate right into that mat. No steel chair in the way this time. 1, 2. Jeff Hardy interrupting that count from Chavo Guerrero. Wanting himself to be the winner of this match as he went for another twist of fate. This time on Chavo Guerrero. Able to send Kazarian out to the outside. Huge Hurricane Rana from Chavo Guerrero. Sending Jeff Hardy into those weapons. Kazarian missing that huge body splash from the outside. Slamming himself into that sledgehammer. Getting an atomic drop by Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero now with a flip onto Kazarian. Jeff Hardy going for a quick pin here. Chavo interrupting even before a 1 count. Jeff Hardy now perhaps going to try and finish the match on Kazarian. But getting a huge suplex and a bridge pin. But Jeff Hardy able to kick out before the 1 count. Kazarian able to counter out of that grab from Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero has been looking dazed. So is Jeff Hardy with that bloodied face. He's holding his head as Kazarian goes for a giant suplex right into the center of that ring. I don't think he landed on any weapons this time. Kazarian calls for a big move here. But twist of fate from Jeff Hardy, busting open Chavo Guerrero. And now Kazarian going for a pin. Only a 1 count onto Chavo Guerrero. Now Kazarian with a series of kicks to Chavo Guerrero. Everyone trying to finish this match. Everyone is tired. He's got to knock down both opponents at the same time though. As Jeff goes for a pin. Only 1 count. Chavo still has enough energy left in him after that twist of fate. As we get a giant move slamming Chavo into that steel chair. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Hardy not able to interrupt. Kazarian wins over Chavo Guerrero.